everybody, it's Chris from the Evermore podcast, Newcastle United podcast on the Evermore YouTube channel. We're back with another Rumour Has It video, which is just a video about players who've been linked to this summer. Now the transfer window's in full swing. There's going to be plenty of names that have been thrown about. We're talking about keepers today. Obviously, we did one of our very first videos was Henderson. That seems to have fell at the wayside now. It looks like he's gone Nottingham Forest. So there's been a few of the names thrown in, and we're going to get stuck into a player in just a second there, a player that you'll probably all be familiar with as well. But just before we do a little bit of housekeeping, if you can, please click that like and subscribe button. We've just gone past the 1,000 subscriber mark. We're absolutely buzzing. Thank you so much to everybody who's clicked that button and joined us. You know, we've got loads more content coming in the next few weeks. We've got some cracking specials coming this Wednesday and the Wednesday after as well. So definitely stay tuned to that. And then we can't wait to get back with some standard Evermore podcast week in, week out for the new season. But let's get stuck into this Rumour Has It video then. As I said, there's no ITK, there's no special sources here. It's just literally about players who have been linked to us in the media. This player had been linked quite a while ago, and I think Henderson looked like it was going to happen, but now that's fell by the wayside. Looks like he's going Nottingham Forest by all accounts, who are the first team we're going to play next season, so that might be interesting to see him come to St James's Park. But the player we're talking about now, obviously sticking with the goalkeepers, is Nick Pope. So I'm a big fan of Nick Pope, to be honest with you. We talked about him before on the podcast, in terms of being quite an underrated goalkeeper in many ways. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. He's quite unlucky not to be England's number one. I think if he was playing for a bit more of a fashionable club than Burnley, who obviously just gone relegated, I think he probably would be England's number one. I think he's a much better goalkeeper than Pickford. And he'd certainly be my choice if I was England manager, who's definitely under pressure at the minute. So he can't afford to make any more mistakes. But let's just have a look at some of the key stats that Mark's pulled up. Obviously, Mark's our resident goalkeeper, so he loves doing the goalkeeper stats in particular. But you can see there, and obviously, Nick Pope's been severely tested this season, being a goalkeeper of a relegated side. He's had many shots thrown at him. But he's actually done quite well, to be fair, as you can see there. His shots against him, he's dealing with kind of, over four shots on target a game. So it's the highest, in the 71 percentile of shots on target. And he's pulling off, 3.22 saves out of those 4.4 shots. So he's in the 80 percentile there. So save percentage, is 73.6%. So he's in the higher kind of 82% echelons of goalkeepers across the top 5 European leagues. Now, if you think about that in isolation, for a lad who's just been relegated, that's pretty good stats that for a goalkeeper. You can see there in terms of his actual position and his passing as well. He's a very good goalkeeper with his feet. Arguably, he's possibly better than Dubravka, as Mark's radar probably indicates there at the bottom in certain areas, which I'm not going to go into in detail. You can have a quick look while we're talking about this. We'll maybe whack it up on the Twitter page as well, so you can have a good look at it. But you can see there that his average kind of passes launched, he's 73.4%. So he's right up there in the 99 percentile. His average pass length, is kind of in the 97 percentile. And his kind of completion rate is high as well there. So in terms of his key attributes, long passing he's very good at, close shots, footwork, which is something Dubravka's definitely fell foul of, I think, in recent seasons. Dubravka's a great shot stopper, but I think when it comes to his feet, finds a little bit wanting, to be fair. And at 30 years old, that's still quite young for a goalkeeper in terms of Nick Pope. There's a couple of different fees being spoken about. Depending on what you believe. I think if you believe the press and the journalists, they're talking about fees as little as £10 million. Now that's nothing for an England international goalkeeper of that quality who's 30 years old. If Newcastle got a chance to sign him, snap the hand off. Potentially that's why they walked away from the Dean Henderson deal. Manchester United wanted 20 million quid for a lad who's barely kicked his own arse for the last 2 years. So I think potentially that's why Newcastle have pulled the plug on the Henderson deal. There's been no other, what you would call, bigger clubs coming in for him. So that tells you a big story that maybe a lot of clubs are a bit concerned about his lack of game time. Nick Pope's had plenty of game time. He wants to be part of that England squad going to the Qatar World Cup this November. And, he needs to be back in the Premier League to do that. So for me, this is a no-brainer sign. And absolutely, some of the Burnley fans are talking 30 million quid plus, but they're in cloud cuckoo land. Burnley are in financial desperation at the minute. Unfortunately for them, with this weird takeover that went through that was mortgaged and borrowed against the club, and it's just a complete financial mess for Burnley. So there's a lot of players who'll be leaving them. There's already been a lot of players that have left. There'll be a lot more sellable assets that Burnley will probably sell off to pay back the loan. And Nick Pope's definitely one of those sellable assets. So I think Newcastle have got a really good chance here of picking up a good goalkeeper at a really bargain basement price. There's talk about Darlow going to Middlesbrough. I think that's gone a little bit quiet, but Darlow definitely looks like he's on his way. Freddie Woodman apparently could be going to Port. I think it's Preston. Is it Preston North End on a permanent deal? So that, that looks like Freddie Woodman's going to be going. Gillespie looks like he's quite comfortable being number 3, maybe finishing his career at Newcastle, his hometown club. He's got no real desire to push for number 1. If he's needed, he'll do it. But he doesn't look like he's that fussed about being the number 1. So we definitely need another goalkeeper who is a very good other option for Dubravka. If Dubravka gets injured, which he has done in the past, if Dubravka goes off form, which he has done in the past, but also a goalkeeper who can push Dubravka and make him stay at the top of his game. So for me, this is a no-brainer for Nick Pope. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. But, for me, if we've got a chance to sign Nick Pope, especially for a fee of 10 million quid, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. We should be all over that completely. So we'll keep an eye on that one happening over the next few weeks. But there's been some frustration in the transfer window. I think Mark's bashed up an article. We're going to bash on the blog soon, so make sure you check that out. It'll be in our bio on the Twitter page, so just jump on and have a look. But yeah, so hopefully we'll have some more breakthroughs. Obviously, Matty Target's on board. We're buzzing with that. But the Botman and TK deals are really starting to piss a lot of the fan base off by dragging on. But Newcastle seem to be playing hardball this window. They don't want to be made mugs of. And I think with Dan Ashworth there now as well, we certainly won't be. But yeah, the Nick Pope one is definitely one to watch. Hopefully that'll come off. Give us a really good backup goalkeeper and one that can maybe even push Dubravka for that number 1 spot. So until then, guys, this is Chris signing off. As I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come on board. We're looking to grow the channel as much as we can so we can keep bringing you this kind of content. We really enjoy doing it. But yeah, every like and comment and subscription really helps us kind of push on and get bigger and bigger and help put more into the channel. So until then, this is Chris signing off. We'll catch you in another transfer video soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.